Yeah, hello everybody. This is Dr. Ramkumar, working as an assistant professor at the School of Management Studies and Commerce, Department of Business Administration, Wales Institute of Science, Technology and Advanced Studies, Pallavaram, Chennai. So today we are going to discuss about the topic the human resource management. That is particularly when you are learning that online teaching and learning platform. So this is the subject. It's applicable to you in the second year, the third semester under that BBA program, belongs to business administration. So in that program outcomes of this course is the first program outcome. The students are able to define, analyze and devise solutions for structured and unstructured business problems and issues using cohesive and logical reasoning pattern for evaluating information, materials and data. And the second program outcome is the students are able to conceptualize a complex issue into a coherent written statement and oral presentation. And that program outcome 3, the students are competent in the uses of technology in modern organizational operations. And the fourth outcome of the program is the students can demonstrate the fundamentals of creating and managing innovation, new business development and high growth potential entities. And then the program outcome 5 is students can demonstrate technical competence in domestic and global business through the study of major disciplines within the fields of business. And the program outcome 6 is apply ethical principles and commit to professional ethics and responsibilities and norms of the management practice. And the last outcome 7 is the students can understand the impact of the professional solutions in societal and environmental context and demonstrate the knowledge of and need for sustainable development. So why this human resource management, why it is needed and where it is needed in the modern era? Based on that, we frame that course outcome of this course, the human resource management. This course outcomes helps the students to understand the following ways. There are 6 course outcomes. Let me discuss one by one. The first course outcome deals about the information regarding the effectiveness of recruiting methods and the validity of selection procedures and make appropriate staffing decisions. And the second course outcome is design a training program using a useful framework for evaluating training needs, designing a training program and evaluating the training results. And third course outcome is properly interpret salary survey data and design a pay structure with the appropriate pay grade and pay ranges. And the fourth outcome is evaluate a company's implementation of a performance-based pay system. And the fifth course outcome is demonstrate knowledge of employee benefit concepts, plan design, administrative considerations and regulations governing employee benefit practices. And the last outcome is align human resource systems with the strategic business objectives of a firm. This is the core objectives of human resource management. It is purely that 4 credits. The total allotted credits to this paper, to this courses, 4. So there are 5 blocks, 16 units, right? We will discuss one by one based on the unit wise. So let me discuss about that course objective. The course objective of this course is the success in today's competitive business environment is increasingly the functions of effective management of its resources, particularly the employee. Hence, the students must aware of basic aspects of human resource management to understand the functioning of human resource management in an organizational setting. And the student can learn that human resource management, why it is designed, what are all the basics of that particular concepts, and what are the functions of a human resource manager, and what are all that awareness created by that human resource manager, and the student should create an awareness of the role and the functions and as well as the functioning of human resource department of the organization. So as I already told it to you, that is, there are 5 blocks, total 16 units. We'll discuss one by one. The block 1, the first block, deals about the human resource management background study and its concepts. There are 3 units. The unit 1, the changing social context and emerging issues, and the unit 2, the concepts and functions of human resource management, and the unit 3, the structuring of human resource management. So from the unit 1, this is the structure of unit 1. The title of the unit is the changing social context and emerging issues. The first one, this is called that structure, and these are all the areas the unit 1 covers. First one, objectives. Second one, introduction. Third, meaning of human resource management. And fourth, the definitions of human resource management. And the fifth, the various concepts related to that human resource management and its practices. And next one, the changing role of human resource management, and the managing human resources in the emerging scenarios. And next one, human resource management and the practices followed in our country, in India. And the last one, the guidelines for better human resource management. So what are the objectives of this unit 1 is, the students can able to understand that meaning and concepts of human resource management, and it describes the emerging scenarios of human resource management and its practices, and discuss the challenges of human resource management, and the last one, explain the human resource management portion in India. So let me introduce the human resource management. Why it is required? So what is a necessity? Why it is needed and where it is needed, particularly why we are framing this subject to the BBA students. Just simply note it in your mind. There are 5 M factors of management. What are the 5 M factors? It starts from that: men, money, missions, materials, and methods. So which one is that leading M factor out of these 5 M's factor? The men resource. Without the men resource, without the human resource, the remaining factors are meaningless. There is no word for it. The remaining factor will not give any meanings to that, the particular things, without the involvement of human resource in an organization. So simply you just note it in your mind. Without the human resource management or else the involvement of human resource management and its practices in an organization, the remaining resources are meaningless. So that human resource management or else a personnel management, and we are talking about that men resource, without this men resource, the remaining are worthless. So man, it's one of the social animal in the world. Why we need to study about that man resource, sir? Particularly the man. In a modern organization, we can able to analyze, judge, predict in all the things except the human resource. Because man only having the power to laugh, we can able to make a smile. And moreover, that man resource is always the valuable resource in the world. All the inventions, all the discoveries is happening because of that the men resource only. Through the men resource only, it's everything is possible. So man only invented the mission, man only invented that money for exchanging that commodity or else a product, man only introducing that missions, methods, materials and everything else, right? So what is the necessity of human resource management practices in an organization? Man applying that the right person for the right job in a right time and at a right place, according to the Thiruvalluvar's mentioned in Thirukural, to select the right person for the right job in a right time and at a right place. One of the verses talks about the human resource management from that, the management concepts from Thirukural. So we know the importance of human resource management and the practices in an organization. Here, that human resource management, it is a next kind of transformation from our economic environment, and the human resource management only decides the global market, decides the local market, decides the domestic and everything else. We are in a position to study about the new era of human resource management practices and philosophy is emerging and assuming that significance in a modern organization. So definitely this unit covers about the emerging scenarios of human resource management and as well as what are the portions of human resource management practices in our country. Let me discuss one by one the meaning of the term human resource management. See, the human resource management, it is a kind of process of bringing people and the organization together so that the goals of each are met. What are that? The key objectives of management. One is called to improve the profit, to maximize the profit and to maximize their assets. So profit maximization and wealth maximization, these are the two key objectives of each and every business activity. What we should do, we should gather the right people for the right job in the right time and at the right place. As a human resource manager, the duty of a human resource manager how to bring the people, how to involve the people towards that organizational goals and objectives. Without meeting that organizational objectives, why we need to appoint that the particular person to that particular post? So it is a part of that management process which is concerned with the management of human resources in an organization. So the financial management, marketing management, advertising management, sales management, operations management, everything, all the managements and the functional areas of the management. Without the human resource management, we can't move that the remaining management in an organization. So simply you just understand in your mind that human resource management, it is a process, it is a never ending process, it is a continuous process. Based on that we have to work for it. We have to bring that right person, right? We have to assemble together. We have to form that management resources in a one place, right? And this is the definitions of human resource management. According to that Van Greek, that human resource management is concerned with the most effective use of people to achieve organizational and individual goals. Simply, we have to note it in our mind. Our individual goals always creates that major impact on that organizational goals. There is no doubt in that. And it is a way of managing the people at work so that they give their best to the organization. Because we are searching for the right candidate for the right job. That right man definitely will reduce the wastages. And the right person can bring the right strategies, right methodologies. And the right methodologies and the strategies will bring the productive results to the organization. There is no doubt in all. The individual objectives, the career goals definitely will create that major impact on that organizational goals. The organizational development depends upon that individual development. According to that, the authors defined in the first definition. The second definition given by the same author. The human resource management is concerned with the most effective use of people to achieve organizational and individual goals. Because each and every human being, we have to fix it our own goals, own objectives. Here we are talking about the career objective, how that the individual objectives, individual goals will create that major impact on that organizational objectives. So that organizational objectives definitely should be meet out with that the individual or else that career goals of that particular person. We must bring that effectiveness of that particular concept. The qualitative improvement is required. Unless and otherwise we can't bring any qualitative things to our organization, because that quality people only can bring that the quality methods, effective methods. That effective methods only will give that fruitful results to the organization, because nowadays it is a highly competitive in nature. The competitors are watching us, what we are doing. So each and everything is based on the global competitiveness. We have to compete that competitiveness. We have to fix that correct goals. Unless and otherwise, there is no use and all. And third definition, according to Edwin Lifpo, the human resource management as planning, organizing, directing, controlling of procurement, developing, compensation, integration, maintenance, and the separation of human resources to the end that individuals, organizational, and social objectives are achieved. So that according to this author Edwin Flippo defined the human resource management come out with that the functions of that particular management planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling of all the human resource management activities. Because we have to plan accordingly, we have to organize the things, we have to recruit the right person for the right job, we have to place the people and measure the performance of that particular individual and control the take that control measures and direct them, motivate them, communicate them, develop their leadership skills, develop their managerial skills. So all because is happening through that human resource management, right? So the last author Edwin Flippo defined the term human resource management through that functions of management also and the concepts of HR. Just see that why this concept is derived. The many people find that human resource management to be an unclear and strange concept, but this is there is no confusions and all. This is the practice come out with that effective utilization of that human resources in an organization. Because the human resource management aimed at recruiting that people flexible and commit the people towards the job, towards their objective, towards their work, and identify that right personalities, right personalities to attain that rewards and develop their key competencies also. So there are three elements in that concepts of human resource management. We have to identify that suitable candidates and motivate them to involve in that particular job or else the assignment, task, and measure their performance, motivate the people towards their job, and identify that active performer and provide that motivation, provide awards, rewards, everything else, develop their key competencies of human resource management practices without fail. Next slide talk about the changing role of human resource management. See that the point number one. In an organization, there are some people are tall, some people are short, some people are fat, some thin people, black skin, white skin, elder, younger, whoever it is, whatever it is. We can able to make that individual differences based on that uniqueness of the individual. And the second, the point is these differences creates the demand, attention of each person to come out with that maximum potentialities, maximum effectiveness, maximum output to that human resource practices. And the last one is the challenge of human resource managers. What are all the challenges they are facing in their places, in their job nowadays, in order to identify the right talent, the people to produce that significantly, productively gains that over a period of time. And that the role of human resource manager is shifting from a protector or else the screener to the planner and change agent. And the human resource professionals plays a key role in planning, implementing and downsizing or restructuring and other cost cutting activities of their business. And the employees who lack the temperament, maturity, social skills and tolerance for frequent contact should not be selected at all for service oriented activities. The next thing is managing that human resources in the emerging scenario. Just see that in the 21st century, would see that following interrelated phenomena emerging, posing the challenges to the corporate world and culminating in Olympian competition. See, there is no borderless world. Diversity and knowledge power. The cross-cultural and cross-border mingling has resulted in a creation of a new class of people, global citizens with global attitudes, tastes and networks. Since it unleashes multiple variables, the borderless world precludes immense complexity in the environment, inter-organizational relationship, in modes of conducting that business and in social cultural diversity. How that managing human resources in the emerging scenario? It is in managing human asserts that the manager's capabilities are tested fully because of that following reasons. The human resources are heterogeneous factor. It's not a homogeneous, it is heterogeneous. And the human beings behaves is wildly different and complicated ways. That's what we are dealing with the human psychology. Without knowing that psychology of a human being, how can you handle the people effectively? So we must study about that individual's characteristics, individual differences, the how that individual characteristics or else a psychology creating that impact on that group activity, group behavior. So that group behavior definitely differ from that individual behavior in some extent. So we have to make the differences. And the third one, modern employees are better educated. Nowadays everyone, they are studying well, they are preparing all those things, they are developing their key competencies, core competencies, skills, knowledge, everything else through the sophisticated technologies, tools are available, equipments are available, they are enjoying to learn the concepts in the future generations and the present generation. A human being himself determines what he contributes. If he is motivated, he will work for an organization more efficiently and effectively. Because one thing we have to note it in our mind, without the motivation, no individuals can work for a long time in the same organization. You have to identify that right person, and that right person should get all that monetary and the non-monetary benefits from the organization without fail. That motivation, the word, it is the most powerful word, right? We must motivate the people. We must encourage the people. Assume that the motivation called the boost, creating the boost of that particular people, inducing the people, encouraging the people, right? So appreciate the people always. What are the practices following in our country in human resource management? So that personnel management and the human resource management, the concepts both terms used interchangeably. It's a dynamic discipline as it mostly deals with ever-changing work settings pattern characterized by people having that varied cultural, social and religious backgrounds, and we are in that having the diversified goals and multifarious expectations and attitudes. Only in our country only we are living with diversified things. Unity is our strength. We have a voting power, we have a freedom to talk, we have a freedom to follow any kind of cultural practices, we have a freedom to follow that any religious things, culture, values, everything else. So our unity is our strength. Here the HRM talks about all the cultural practices, social factors, religious backgrounds, and all the people. We may be separated, we may be diversified from the various levels, but we are proving that uniqueness under one tree that is called the citizen of our great nation. We are the sons of the soil of this great nation. So the integrity, unity, diversity, all that creating that values to our Indian citizens. The nature of the work goals, makeup of the group work in the long run, and over the years the employees have become more sophisticated in their demand for high quality work environments, adequate pay benefits, proper training and career growth opportunities. And the third one, all these factors compel human resource professionals to look for ways to improve their interactions with employees, other managers and outside groups in order to maximize worker productivity and satisfaction. So whatever it is or whoever it is, we have to create that human resource policies, human resource objectives. All the employees should fulfill that objectives of the particular organization. Because your objective should be meet out with that organizational objective. You are growing, organization also growing. You are not improving, definitely we can't able to get that improvement on the organization. Okay, the next thing is the external and internal factors influencing that human resource management functions. The first one external factor and second one internal factor. The external factors are always uncontrollable factors. The internal factors, the controllable factors. Right? So internally we can control that vision statement of that particular organization. Mission. Vision talks about that long-term perspective. Mission talks about the short-term perspective. The short-term, medium-term and long-term. Within 1 year, it is a short-term plan. So more than 1 year to 3 years, up to 5 years, it is a medium-term plan. More than 5 years, it is a long-term plan. So mission, it is a short-term objective. Vision, it is a long-term objective. We can able to fix it. Depends upon the business activity, depends upon the functions of a business, depends upon the functional areas of the business activities. We can fix it to that the mission and vision statement that is controllable factor from the organization. And the policies, definitely we are creating the policies for our business activity, the HR policy, production policy, marketing policy, financial policy, research and development initiatives, policies, changes, advertising policy, everything we can fix it by our own. That is also the controllable factor. And the organizational culture, in what kind of cultural practices we are following. Because based on that culture we can able to see that whether our industry comes under the head of local or deals with domestic or else deals with foreign MNC or Indian MNC or national or district or multinational, international or global, whatever it is, we have to identify that, we have to create that culture to our organization should be meet out with that vision and mission statement and the objectives of the firm. So there is no doubt and all. This is also that controllable factor, that is internal factors of human resource management. And the organizational structure. Structure means it is a step-by-step process which is involved from the top level, middle level, and the operational level. There are three levels of management: top level, middle level, operational level, which means strategic level, tactical level, and then the operational level. So that structure talks about, it starts from that organizational chart, right? That is also the controllable factor. And the system, what kind of system we are following, that is also controllable. We are creating by our own. So from this side, the internal factors assume that all the controllable factors of the organization, but the external factor, all the uncontrollable factors involved or else influencing on that human resource management functions. What are the uncontrollable factors? Namely called external factor. The technological factor. Technology, of course. Soon we will enter into that 5G network. Now we are enjoying that 4G network. We can't able to control that involvement or else that introducing that 5G network in our business activity. Definitely we have to upgrade ourselves. And the economic challenges. The earlier we followed that VAT system, and now we are following the GST practices. What is the difference between that VAT system, value added tax, and then the GST, goods and services tax? So we have to adopt the GST practices because government taken the initiatives and introducing the GST practices instead of following that VAT system. That is uncontrollable, decided by the government. And the political factor. So one people are ruling that particular government and another people will take the chances after 5 years or 4 years of time period. So in any kind of political setup or else administrative setup, our business should not get affected, but in some extent, that the changes in the political factors also uncontrollable factors, because out of the control from our business activity, we have to adjust, we have to adopt some new techniques, we have to identify the root causes and the factors, or else that identifying or finding out the solution to adjust with that particular factors, uncontrollable factors. And the social factor, we have to obey that the value system from the society. We have to give the respect to the human being to follow that particular cultural practices of the particular places. So our company concentrating that global level, MNC level, right? What we should do, we should analyze that particular social factors in a modern era. And local and government issues also that uncontrollable factor. Because in the local administrative rules, power setups is different from the government side, either state government or else the central government. Sometimes the unions, the territory may be differ. The rules in from the Pondicherry region and the Tamil Nadu may be differ. So we have to follow that the union based restrictions, rules, regulations, guidelines, everything else. And the employers demand also some of that uncontrollable factor, the demand from their extent. So you can able to understand that internal and external factor, which is internal factors always called controllable factors and the external factors always called uncontrollable factor. How these internal and external factors influencing on that human resource management functions. So that is the things. And next we are dealing with that the guidelines for better human resource management. We must develop the people. The first one, we must develop the people. Without the development of employees, there is no word for organizational development. And identify that their talents confidently. You have to trust your employee and you have to identify the talents from the employee side. Right? And employees deployment, which means effectiveness. In what way the employees are developing their skills, what are all the hurdles they are facing to learn the particular concept, particularly the new concepts. We must identify the gap of the particular employee to adopt that modern technology in their places. So transfer such a employees to the next level. So these are all the ways you can develop that better human resource in your workplace and build employee communities. Develop that employee communities because various segmentations are there. Whatever it is, you must create that opportunity to the people to follow that particular segment, because lot of unions are there, trade unions are there, right? Lot of problems are there. Whatever it is or whoever it is, give up freedom and build the employee communities under one tree, right? And turn managers into the coaches. Definitely, right? Whatever it is. So we must develop that the suitable persons to the next level, right? So these are all that the guidelines we are following that to create that better human resource management. So thank you once again. I'm going to brief about that. What are all the points we have discussed from the unit 1. Going to summarize the things. We discussed about the objectives of this course and the introduction of human resource management, and we deal with that meanings and definitions of human resource management and the concepts related to that HRM practices and the changing role of human resource management practices and the managing human resources in the emerging scenarios and the human resource management practices followed in India and the guidelines for that better human resource management practices. So these are all the points we have discussed from the unit 1. So we'll see that unit 2 in the next session. Thank you to you all.